Yeah, and I was thinking about your platform. It's there's the analytical part and the financial parts. You're looking at different, financial levers of companies, making the determination whether it's a buy or an avoid or a sell, that kind of thing. Do people ask you all the time, like, hey, is this a trading platform or am I an investor? Like, how do you make that distinction for people?
Yeah, so when they join, we have an onboarding sequence that warms them up to the tool. We really, we're very gracious and say, "Hey, thank you for joining us." And there's a welcome video and then over the next 20 some days they get a new tip. Well, one of the first tips is Tykr used for investing or trading? We're right up front, it's for investing. People can go trade. That's not what our tool is for, but we set expectations. It can be very risky. So we let them know like investing is safe. You make your money work for you. Because I've had traders on my podcast, and they will admit it's work. You're still trading your time for a paycheck. It's a job. Whereas investing, you flip that equation and your money's working for you.
Powerful. And what are you seeing? Here we are almost halfway through
Mhm.
2023. Like, what are you seeing with investors these days? What's the biggest mistake you're seeing them make right now?
Sitting on the sidelines would be the biggest one, and we've we've had a lot of investors do that, and I have to remind them of events that have happened in history, such as the recession. Another case study of one of our customers, or not our customers, a friend of mine actually, he bought Ford Auto because they're the only company that did not take the bailout in 2008. They had the strongest balance sheet, whereas GM and Chrysler did. So he went all in. He went 100 grand into Ford. He was in his younger 30s. He's a plumber. He's a blue collar worker, and he turned that 100 grand into like 2 point some million in about a year and a half. And that was it. He was done working. He was like, I didn't retire because I still want to work, but he started working on some things. He was like online businesses and stuff like that. So it's like, well, financial independence in your early 30s by investing in a strong business. It's not too complicated. So I share that. I also share a story. This is a fun one about, and you can Google this. It's on CNBC. It's Ronald Reed. It's a janitor that built up a wealth of about $7 million. The question is, how does somebody who's making close to minimum wage build up a portfolio of $7 million? And the way you do it, by strong individual stocks. And this was through like the 70s and 80s, but I think he was buying Johnson and Johnson, GE, maybe Ford was in there, but businesses we're familiar with. And what he did is he had the discipline to keep buying more every month. He did not sit on the sidelines and watch. He had the discipline to keep investing every month.